Hello everyone. Welcome back once again to the online classes of history. I hope you all are fine and keeping yourself safe at your homes. Today we are going to continue with lesson number 3, that is the Delhi Sultanate. I hope you all have done your previous work as well as your holiday homework. So let's start the next chapter. First we will have the explanation, so listen very carefully, that is very interesting chapter, and then we will continue with the exercises in upcoming videos.
Yes, dear students, so before starting lesson number 3, explanation, let's recall that in the previous chapters we studied about rise and spread of Christianity and rise and spread of Islam. Now this is your third chapter, the Delhi Sultanate. In this, first we will study about two Turkish invaders, and then we will continue that how after their ruled or after their death Delhi Sultanate established. So the first thing we need to understand about two Turkish invaders. The first one was Mahmud of Ghazni. Okay, Mahmud Ghazni. So in the 11th century, India was almost ruled with weak rulers, especially I'm talking about North India. And so this gave an opportunity to Turkish rulers. The most important sultan was actually Mahmud Ghazni. In 1998 and in 1030, he invaded India, and he invaded India actually 17 times, and during his raids he plundered and destroyed palaces, temples and cities. And the most important temple which he destroyed was Somnath temple in Kathiawar, and this temple was the very we can say have this temple was having lots of jewelry, gold coins, lots of things which he plundered. But his aim was not to establish an empire in India. He only wanted to plunder the wealth of India. So we came to know all these things when his one of the scholar Al-Baruni, the Persian scholar who came to India with him, he mastered Sanskrit and translated some Sanskrit text into Arabic, and he also wrote a book on India. So he wrote everything about Mahmud of Ghazni in that book. Now after Mahmud Ghazni, one more invader, he was from Afghanistan, and he came to India to establish his empire, and his name was Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori, controlled over Punjab and Sindh. The third line you can see here, Punjab and Sindh. Okay, here it is. And this time Prithviraj Chauhan, third, of Ajmer and Delhi, was the most powerful Rajput ruler of India. So finally they both had two battles. Listen very carefully. Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan in 1191, first battle of Tarain. So these two battles are known as Battle of Tarain near Delhi. So 1191, first, here you can see 1191 and 1192. Okay, so in 1191 Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori, but within a year Muhammad Ghori attacked on Prithviraj Chauhan, and Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated by him. And finally Muhammad Ghori established an empire in India, in northern India, and he defeated rulers of Banaras, Kannauj, and finally the Gaur kingdom established. But when he was about to leave, when he left India, Indian territories, he left all these things to his trusted slave named Kutubuddin Aibak, and he was a able general also. So he when he got all the territories, he became the or you can say the owner, or he became the ruler. But he did not declare this till the death of Muhammad Ghori. So finally, how Delhi Sultanate established between 1194 and 1206, Qutbuddin Aibak and other generals conquered the Ganga Yamuna Doab. This Ganga Yamuna Doab is a very very important area. Basically, this area was the main area for fighting, because everyone wanted to occupy that area. That was very fertile area. So they conquered, and Aligarh, Kannauj, Bihar, Bengal, all these areas were conquered by a Turkish general. Then after Muhammad Ghori's death in 1206, Qutbuddin proclaimed himself Sultan of Turkish territories in India, and he made Delhi his capital and declared that now this is the time that he founded the Delhi Sultanate. So here we are going to study about Delhi Sultanate. Now, before studying about Delhi Sultanate, on the next page you can see in Delhi Sultanate, basically this Sultanate lasted for 1206, from 1206 to 1526, almost 4 years. Okay, and in these years, not sorry 4000 years, 400 years, and in these years we will be studying about these 400 years had 5 dynasties. So the first one is slave dynasty, which was started by Qutbuddin Aibak. The founder was Qutbuddin Aibak. Then we will study about Khalji dynasty. Can you see that upside in the first paragraph? Khalji dynasty here. Then Tughlaq dynasty, and then we will study about Lodi dynasty. Okay. So all these dynasties you will study in this chapter. So after this, Sayyid dynasty was also there. Okay, Sayyid dynasty and Lodi dynasty. So after this, we will first start with slave dynasty. As you can see in your book, slave or Mamluk. Why this dynasty is known as slave dynasty? Because Qutbuddin Aibak was a slave of Muhammad Ghori. Okay. So the dynasty established by him called the slave or Mamluk dynasty. Now come to the paragraph where Qutbuddin Aibak is written. He was a generous ruler and a great builder. Qutub Minar in Delhi was built by him, but actually the construction was started by him, but after his death the construction was not got over. So his son-in-law completed the construction, Iltutmish. Okay, so one more building he built. Building means mosque, Quwwatul Islam Mosque in Delhi, and he also built the mosque Arai Din Ka Jhopra, Ajmer, and began the construction of Qutub Minar. Okay, and he died in 1210. Now come to Iltutmish. Qutbuddin's Aibak's son-in-law Iltutmish ascended the throne in 1210 AD. Iltutmish established the Delhi Sultanate. He either crushed his rivals or won them over with land grants. Iltutmish was very intelligent. He used to give land grants to the rivals to give to have their support. So he also suppressed rebellions. In 1221, Iltutmish refused shelter to the ruler of Iran, who had been ousted by the Mongol chief Genghis Khan. This wise move saved India from a Mongol attack. Mongols used to attack very frequently on India, and finally Iltutmish saved India from Mongols attack. Iltutmish organized a group of powerful Turkish nobles called Chalisa. Now turn your page. Here you can see, to overcome his enemies, he introduced an effective system of collecting land revenue and reorganized the currency of the Sultanate. He completed the construction of Qutub Minar, as I told you. He also built a mosque at Badon and his own tomb of red sandstone at Delhi. After Iltutmish's death, his daughter Razia, who ruled until she was murdered in 1240. Basically, Razia wanted to rule, but she was not liked by the group of nobles, okay, Turkish nobles. They never wanted to be ruled by a woman, and they discouraged her a lot, and finally she was murdered. So her time period was very short. Now, one more very important character of slave dynasty, Ghayasuddin Balban. After several weak rulers, Ghayasuddin Balban, a powerful member of Chalisa, became the Sultan. You can also call a group of nobles. 1266, Balban crushed the Chalisa and displayed his power by introducing strict discipline in his court. He never followed nobles, and he made his own rules. He introduced the Persian custom of Zameen Bos, that is, lying flat on one's face before the emperor to show respect. Means you have to bow your head in front of the emperor. Balban restored law and order, reorganized the army, and maintained an efficient spy system. Means he had detectives. Okay, he suppressed a revolt in Bengal and fortified his frontiers to guard against possible Mongol attacks. And he died in 1287. So he did all the possible things to save the Delhi Sultanate from the Mongols' attack, from the rebellions, from the nobles, those who were not very much friendly, and those who always wanted to crush, those who always wanted to beat the Sultan. So he always did possible things to save Delhi Sultanate. So till here we have completed slave dynasty. Next we will continue with the Khalji dynasty, which is very important dynasty. Then in the next video we'll start that. I hope you all have understood this one. Listen this video again to understand it better. Till then, read the chapter and take care.